All right, good morning, everybody. This is CBS 19 Meteorologist Joel Robinson. Thanks so much for joining me this morning on CBS 19 Plus, as well as YouTube and Facebook. Today is yet another day that we're going to be talking about the rolling thunderstorms here coming through the area. We are going to be watching for that potential for some very heavy rainfall, maybe even some gusty winds. A weather impact alert still stands for this evening. As a matter of fact, we are tracking CBS 19 live radar right now. This is not the line of thunderstorms that's going to be coming in this evening. This is just kind of one of those precursor thunderstorm complexes that's going to be coming through just ahead of it. Will not be affecting us here in East Texas. However, if you're in the Dallas area and just west of there, we do have flash flood warnings in effect for this band of thunderstorms just to the west of town. So if you are heading into the Dallas area this morning, maybe even into parts of this afternoon, definitely want to be aware of some very heavy thunderstorms in that direction. And then for tonight, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. is when that second round of thunderstorms will be rolling in. If you remember this morning, we had a round of some strong thunderstorms just north of the I-20 corridor, actually closer to I-30. We have a second round coming in 8 p.m. and lasting until midnight tonight. Gusty winds and flash flooding are going to be the two main hazards with this line here. Definitely going to want that rain gear. Also download CBS 19 on your app store on your phone. Also CBS 19 Plus will be streaming here all throughout the day here for any updates. And of course, going into tonight, we'll have the latest for you there. We have a marginal and slight risk for excessive rainfall here all across East Texas, basically meaning one or two locations within East Texas. Basically all of East Texas could see some very heavy rainfall. Also, we have a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms across most of East Texas, basically along the line extending from Marshall, Henderson, Jacksonville down to Crockett and further to the north and west. Basically anywhere in this green shaded area could see maybe one or two spots with some gusty winds. We do have a low but non-zero tornado threat and hail threat, but the number one risk, should anything become severe, will be damaging winds between 40 and 60 miles per hour. So here is what it all looks like. So that round of thunderstorms that moved through this morning is out to the north and east. We have another round coming in through the Dallas area. That'll stay to the north. And then here is that main line coming in around 8 o'clock this evening. And once it kind of moves through, it will start to weaken as it continues to move to the east. It moves into a little bit less favorable conditions, especially over in some of our eastern counties. It lifts. We got a couple of showers behind it, and then possibly another round of some thunderstorms for your Friday morning. But that's about it. Friday afternoon and evening look absolutely fantastic. There's a cold front right behind where these thunderstorms are going to line up here, and that's going to bring in some cooler temperatures for Friday and into your weekend. And I say cooler temperatures, at least comparing to the past few days, we've seen some well above average temperatures. Believe it or not, those temperatures still expected to be above average, but still a little bit cooler. We're expecting temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Could catch a couple of showers over deep East Texas on Saturday, but that's about it. It's a pretty dry forecast going forward. Now, again, we're talking about that risk for flash flooding here, which basically means at least an inch, maybe even 2 inches of rain are going to be expected locally. And it's a very low end chance as far as the coverage. So you can see some of the rainfall amounts. Obviously, these are not concrete rain amounts here, but at least half an inch, close to an inch. And you can see some of these purple areas just south of Tyler and in northern parts of Cherokee County. That roughly adds up to maybe about a little over an inch of rain. So very, very localized areas where we could see some very heavy rainfall. That's where that marginal risk for flash flooding comes into play here. So after all of that, we will have a little bit of a break from the rain for the most part on Saturday and then altogether on Sunday. Again, latest model data is suggesting maybe a couple showers towards deep East Texas, south of Nacogdoches and south and along the line extending from Crockett, Lufkin, all the way to Hemp Hill. But that's about it. That's about the extent of the rainfall that we're going to be seeing for Saturday. And then we're pretty much dry altogether for Sunday. And then look at Monday. This is our next big super soaker that we're going to be watching for. We do have a weather impact alert in place for Monday as well, for that potential for some very heavy rainfall. Flooding certainly not going to be out of the question here. You can see red indicates areas where there could be flooding. So one or two, got a couple of spots here that could potentially see some flash flooding. So that's where that weather impact alert comes into play on Monday. And then if we total all of the rainfall up, so everything that we are about to see today and all the stuff that we're going to be seeing on Monday as well over the next 7 days, there's that potential for at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches of rainfall. So this is really going to help us out, especially given that we are roughly about 4 to 8 inches below average for this time of year since we started measuring things for the fall season, which is September 1st. So we are well below average. This has been a very dry fall. We definitely could use this, but it happens all at once. That's the problem. That's where that threat for flooding comes into play. So this is really good beneficial rain. It just happens all at once. So you definitely want to be weather aware as we go forward here. So again, we're looking at that 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. time frame for tonight's storms. We have a long break between what we saw this morning and what we're going to be seeing tonight. So expect a mainly cloudy forecast until 8 o'clock, and then we go forward and go into midnight. That's where things start to taper off. Maybe a couple showers. One small band of thunderstorms for your early parts of Friday. I don't expect that they'll be too intense, but you'll see a couple of heavy downpours in some parts of the area before noon. And then the second half of Friday features nice, clear conditions. Cold front comes through. We got cooler conditions and much clearer conditions for Friday night football. Should be fantastic. And then for the most part, I might throw in about a 20 to 30% chance of rain on Saturday, considering that cold front makes its way through. Could have additional showers just over deep East Texas for Saturday. But that's about it. It's a pretty dry forecast all in all here. And then Sunday, pretty dry altogether, expecting a mostly cloudy sky for your Sunday. And then here comes Monday, that next system, with a 70% chance of thunderstorms, weather impact alert declared for some heavy rainfall. That's what we have for Monday. So a couple things that we're going to be watching for tonight, Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, we're looking at some cooler temperatures. By Thanksgiving, we're looking to be much cooler. We're talking temperatures in the 60s, at least for Wednesday, possibly into your Thanksgiving as well. It's a pretty cool forecast as we go forward. This is definitely something that we need to get back on track with, especially when it comes to the temperatures. So that's what we have. I'm going to hop on Facebook real quick to see if you guys have any questions. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Is it messing up for everyone? Okay. Is it messing up? If you're referring to the storms, it will affect a good portion of us, and unless we're getting some errors on the stream. But otherwise, we'll go through future Skycast one more time, and I'll show you the timing with that again. So again, we're watching for the 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. time frame for tonight. We get a long break, maybe a couple showers before then. That is about it. Then here comes that main line, 8 o'clock, knocking on our door at Emory, Canton, Athens. It starts to move through. Then once it gets along that US 69 corridor, basically US 69 and eastward, looks to have a less favorable environment. That's where these storms start to fall apart. They just become showers. And then by midnight, it's all done. So again, flash flooding, lots of rainfall with this, gusty winds. Maybe 1 or 2 spots could maybe see some severe thunderstorm warnings this evening. That's about it. I'm not too terribly concerned about tornadoes. I'm not too terribly concerned with hail either. It's a very low-end threat. It's a marginal risk, so maybe 1 or 2 spots could maybe see that. But I'm not really too concerned with that as much as I am with the heavy rainfall and gusty winds. But once that moves through, got a couple of showers for your Friday morning. Then Friday afternoon, great news. It's going to be fantastic. Clouds go away. We're in for some nice clear skies, probably some beautiful sunsets as well. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. Then a couple showers over deep East Texas for Saturday. That's about it. We're dry for Sunday, and then along comes another system for Monday. So those are the 2 things that we're going to be watching for. That's basically all the active weather that we got. I know Monday's a huge travel day. Definitely got to take precaution. You know, it's Thanksgiving right around the corner. Definitely got to take precaution. This is going to be one of those all-day kind of persistent rainfall days. It's going to be a lot for us as we head into Monday. That's what we have there. A half an inch of rainfall, probably a little bit above that for today all the way through tomorrow as we total up all the rainfall that we're going to be seeing. Monday's the next chance of rain. We total it all up, 2 to 3, 4 inches of rain. That's what we got for today, and also totaling up what we're going to be seeing on Monday. And then we got some cooler temperatures after that. So that's what we have there. 7-day forecast, those two time frames, tonight into Friday and then Monday. That's what we're watching for there. And Tuesday into Wednesday, much cooler. Thanksgiving, likely going to be pretty cool as well. We're going to be right back on track with average temperatures, which is usually around 65 to 67 degrees. I'm going to check Facebook one more time, see if you guys have any questions here. Okay, oh, the feed was frozen. Okay, I'm glad it's working now. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Yeah, we definitely want to make sure you guys are getting the information you need, because this is definitely very, very important. So again, that's what we have. I'm going to leave you with this. This is what we're watching for. And I'll be on at noon for the noon show for the latest information on this. And of course, Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony will be in this evening, CBS 19 News at 5, 6, 6:30, 10 o'clock. He'll have all the details you need. We'll be streaming here live on CBS 19 Plus, YouTube, Facebook. We'll be here should the weather go sideways here, but stay weather aware. You can download the CBS 19 app, turn on those notifications so you can receive the latest updates from us, the CBS 19 weather experts, and the National Weather Service. Have multiple ways of receiving alerts, whether that be your phone, your TV, a weather radio. That's always really good to have as well. Make sure those batteries are good enough for the weather radio as well, because those are battery backup. Make sure those are in perfect working order. Yeah, just stay weather aware. You can have us on social media as well. It's KYTX, CBS 19, Brett Anthony, Meteorologist Joel Robinson. Those handles on Facebook, we're all there. We'll keep you updated all throughout this evening, and also we'll keep you updated on what happens on Monday. But I'm going to leave you with this. We're going to sign off for now. Again, stay weather aware. 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. is that time frame. Stay tuned for the latest updates.